Ooh, I just did a cardio workout. Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're climbing trees to escape rampaging moose, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Yeah, it could happen, yeah. Well, tonight, and Happy New Year all, we're talking about reigniting your Geo-Spark. I think that's what powers the Transformers. But if not, let's talk with you all about where your passion for this game is at the beginning of 2023 and what would make it, well, just even that much more fun for you. Hey, live audience, you already know what to do, but jump in that chat. Let us know what you're thinking. We want to hear from you. It is Thursday night. I'm Wits End. It's time to bring in our rampaging rhesus monkey. Some say you should subscribe to his weekly Kardashian newsletter. And others say he wanted socks for Christmas. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Isn't that the new meme for this year? It was like when you're a kid, you're disappointed and sad to get socks for Christmas, and when you're a hiker or a geocacher, you're asking for socks for Christmas.
Please, can I have socks?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, it is good to be back. It's been a few weeks since I've seen you fine gentlemen. Chris,
Same
I believe.
here.
Chris, I believe we've left you on your own recognizance for the last couple of weeks.
And we still have a podcast.
And we still see, you haven't learned from me. You gotta burn it to the ground. Scorched earth policy.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not going to learn that from you. That was my New Year's resolution. Don't learn anything from Land Monkey.
Hey, your mileage may vary. But since you said not to learn anything from Land Monkey, that reminds me that it's time for a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of all of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming in each and every week. Thanks to Land Sharks, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. Hey, you can go online and buy stuff at landsharks.ca at their store online. But did you know that right now people are hurtling to I almost said ferry terminal, to the cruise ship terminal in Florida to get on the next Land Sharks adventure. That's right. They're getting on a cruise ship and they're sailing out into the Caribbean with a whole bunch of geocachers. We're throwing confetti in the air and into the water and killing all the sea turtles to bid them farewell. If you're interested in a future Land Sharks travel cruise, because there's plenty more coming if you missed out on this.
I'm interested in a future.
Okay.
It was the pause there. Okay.
Well, you can go check it out at Landsharks, LANDSHARKZ.ca. They've got all the info there. And while we're talking about our corporate Denali level sponsors, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Gold Country Geotourism. That's right. You can visit exploregoldcountry.com to learn more about the Geotour, because there's more than one, the region, singular because it's one large region, with multiple communities in it. And it's a wonderful place to visit, whether it's the winter, the spring, the summer, the fall. That would be all 4 seasons. Choose your favorite and go visit Gold Country. Check them out on Facebook, Explore Gold Country, or again, their website, exploregoldcountry.com. And folks, if you want to know more just about supporting this podcast, well, click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
Woo! Hey, thank you very much for that, Land Monkey. Kitty Quest said, I actually did ask for socks for Christmas. Didn't get any.
Oh.
But Kitty Quest has a cool new toque if you meet her in person at an event.
Darn it. You just have to make your own socks.
There you go.
See what I did there?
You could take her toque apart and make socks.
That's true.
Probably.
There you go.
Okay. I'm getting off that subject and going on to the glow.
Oh.
Yes, it's time for the glow. That's the geocaching log of the week.
I didn't even get a chance to ask what it was.
I know. I just jumped right in.
Wow.
I figured I've been lazy throughout the last half of 2022. Now I'm just going to tell you up front what it is. Whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingandw.com. Of course, you can call in to 253-693-TFTC and just show us. I dare you to show us how you glow because we still need more glows.
How dare he?
I dare well.
The double dog dare?
Well, I'd go to triple dog dare, but that's, jumping protocol.
That's a breach of protocol. Tonight's glow is from, is it R. Reagan or is it Reagan? Hagen? I don't know. But it came in via email, and it was for GC1 Delta Yankee Echo Juliet. Poen found a cache. It's called Noise, and we'll see how the log reads. It says, when plans were being made for our annual trip to Rome for going caching, we started a wish list of caches. For me, it was one cache in my Rome bubble and this cache. I sent it out to the group and didn't get a hugely enthusiastic response, except from GeoMonkey Tiger. He knew that this cache has been on my radar for years, and I knew that he either wanted to see me achieve the find or he wanted me to quit talking about it. Whatever the reason, it was the two of us versus a dark, wet, muddy, massive cave with a tiny wormhole. We were ready for the challenge. Well, we weren't really ready because we forgot our headlamps and our flashlights and ended up making a go for it with the pin light that radiated ever so dimly from our phones. Honestly, I kind of liked it this way because it kept me from being able to see any snakes, leeches, bats, or any other animal just waiting to kill us. The approach to Ground Zero was less than ideal, but very doable, and we made it to the cave entrance without too much trouble. Looking in was when we realized that we left all light sources at the house or the car, and we had come too far to go back. The decision was made to push forward. You ever notice people say that? It isn't that, I chose to go forward, and they're not blaming somebody else. It just says the decision was made. So, yeah.
Universal decision made on their behalf by
something like that.
else.
Yeah, I think this is like absolving themselves of any guilt at this point. Anyway, the first room was rather large and not terribly wet, even though GMT lost his shoe in the thick mud. We got to the wormhole, and wow, it was small, and I am, I'm a little fluffy. Yes, fluffy. I wasn't convinced I would fit, but with some Tetris-like maneuvering, I was able to make it through and into the second chamber. I will say that the 10-foot wormhole that I was expecting was way more like 20 to 25 feet, but about halfway I could transition from an all-out army crawl to hands and knees, which was nice. Once inside, we reminded ourselves of the intel we had obtained and went to where we thought the cache might be located. It was going to take some additional acrobatics to get to the container. This was our biggest obstacle, even bigger than the tiny wormhole, because it took everything that we both had to get the container, and we had to put down our only light sources to make the retrieval. This was not ideal, but we were convinced that it was a one try only and we needed to make the grab. We hyped ourselves up and made the leap to grab the cache, and we did it. Just wow. After all these years, we were finally able to add our names to the log. Now to get out. It's amazing how big that wormhole looked going out to freedom as opposed to going into the darkness, so it didn't take us long before we were both in the large chamber celebrating. We took a bunch of pictures and headed back to the car with smiles big enough for watermelons. Thanks for an awesome adventure. I will never forget this one cache.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love how in the chat, R.I.P. shoe. Komakino's going to pour one out for that shoe tonight. And Brylang says, no, don't waste it on a shoe. Sheesh. Yeah. So, people really like the fact that they lost a shoe. That's terrible, Komakino. I'm sure that shoe went to heaven, though. Shoes have souls, you know.
It's true. You can't argue with that logic.
So the shoe's what everybody remembers. Okay.
The moral of the story is...
So when we go to Rome, Georgia, we've got to go get this cache, right?
And find the missing shoe.
Barely.
Sure, it will still be there.
Yeah. You can bring it to the event. Make it trackable.
Oh, there we go. I don't want to carry somebody else's shoe. Hey, if you want to get into tonight's chat, and we know you do, because you guys are already on it, use the hashtag Spark to bring up a topic, bring up an idea for tonight's show. And you can also use the hashtag FTAS, that's FTAS, for the after show. If you have a topic, well, for the after show. I kind of led that one, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. And of course, use the hashtag podcast baking to tell us what you've got cooking tonight. Now, we have some news in here from our friend Brylang. I believe he's our friend. Yeah, because the checks aren't clearing anymore. Anyway, he brings up the news article about mightypeace.com. He says there's never been a cooler way to explore all of the Mighty Peace while celebrating 60 years of tourism. Grab your friends and camera and participate in the Mighty Peace geocache hunt and photo contest. Find geocaches throughout the region for a chance to win prizes, including discounts, passes, rounds of golf, because squares of golf is just no fun. But you get a foursome in golf. I don't know. Gift cards, ski lift passes, and more. Land Monkey, tell us where the Mighty Peace River is.
Well, the Peace region is in northern Alberta, British Columbia, and it covers quite a large geographic area, a number of communities. So if you go and check out the URL, did you put the URL in the chat?
I had it in my paste buffer until I got busy with other things.
Okay. We'll drop it in there. And so if people go and check this out, so if you try and look up Peace region on Google Maps, you might not land in the right place. But if you go to this link, mightypeace.com, and really just go to mightypeace.com, and then from there you can navigate to whatever you want. But if you want the full URL, it's mightypeace.com/activity/60-years-of-tourism/. And so that'll get you exactly to the page where all this info is there. But there's quite a number of geocaches they've hidden. This is not, I don't believe this is an official geo tour. I don't see it listed under the geo tours. So it's like a geo challenge, you could call it. Doesn't look like there's specifically coins related, but there's other prizes. So find the geocaches, post a photo, use the links, use the QR codes that are in the caches, and be entered to win all kinds of different prizes to enjoy while you are in the Peace region.
They're giving out prizes every week.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
There's a chance you're going to win something here.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun. And it's a beautiful area to go visit. Very unique area. And if you time it right, you can see the northern lights up there. So why not?
Really? Wow. We got to go.
There you go. As one does.
Love it. Hey, we also have some more news.
Oh, good. I like more
This
news.
one didn't come from Brylang. This one, I know, right? Shocking. Since he seems to be, the source of all of our knowledge.
Yeah.
A regular font.
Yeah. Anyway, this one comes directly from Geocaching HQ. They have released the confirmed souvenir moments. So if you'd like a moment of a souvenir, full sale 2023 is January 1 through January 8th. January 8th is an important day for some people on this podcast and some people listening.
Sayback Tribe, yeah.
Yeah.
So go out and find a geocache or host an event. A little too late to host an event, or go to an event.
You could attend an event if you can find one, yeah.
Attend an event and find a geocache. Log an adventure, whatever it takes.
Gentlemen, have you guys earned your full sale 2023 souvenir yet?
I have.
Awesome. Congrats.
I believe I have. I haven't looked.
Well, if you have found a geocache since January 1st, you have.
Yeah.
That pretty much seals it.
It took me a bit because my premium membership expired, so I had to go a little farther to find a non-premium cache that I could actually look at. But yeah,
Awesome. Sorry, did you say your premium membership has expired?
it has. I haven't renewed it.
All right, we'll take care of that for you.
We'll get there one of these days.
Don't worry about it. We'll take care of that for you, Jim.
Okay.
All right.
Also, we have, just like last year, but better because it's 2023, is the Hider souvenir. So January 1st through December 31st, Hide a Geocache. Host an event. As Breiling says, it's never too late to host an event. And we're back to Breiling again. Okay, let's get him out of here for now.
Yeah, come on.
He's coming up. Either one of those is going to get you the Hider souvenir. Those are nice to have. The Cash In, Trash Out, or CITO, as I like to say. Season 1 is March 1st through May 31st. The Big Blue Switch days is May 1st through May 3rd. That's a Big Blue Switch weekend.
Yeah.
International Geocaching Day. Oh, I was thinking, wasn't it more than one day? No, it's August 19th.
That's one of the rare ones that still remains to be a single day.
I was thinking, didn't that already change? No, it hasn't. Cash In, Trash Out, Season 2 is September 1st through November 30th. International Earth Cache Day.
Yes.
That's the one. Is October 7th and 8th. Not as much as the Big Blue Switch days, but it's getting up there, right? And goodbye 2023. That's December 24th, Christmas Eve, in case you're starting to plan now, through the 31st.
New Year's Eve.
Interesting. What's interesting to me is they're calling it Goodbye 2023. Yet this year they had the drop anchor and full sail. So I'm wondering if they'll change the name they've associated with that one
I think they might.
As the end of the year gets closer. Yeah.
Placeholder.
Yeah, exactly. Previous years, it was a goodbye one year and hello the next year and things like that. So
there you go. What else you got?
GSM times 2 hopes we can get a new record on International Geocaching Day in this.
Oh, yeah. They tried for a record last year, didn't they?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Shocked me that they didn't make it. Just shocked.
That's kind of surprising. Oh, well.
It was a bit surprising.
I guess that means a lot of people go geocaching all the time.
Yeah.
They couldn't break the record when they were having a focused attempt to.
People go out caching all the time for all kinds of reasons. But tonight we're going to talk about what makes you want to get out and go geocaching.
Nice segue.
Best one of the year.
You're off to a great start.
I haven't made any segues at all this year.
Huh.
Oh. Well, we'll try and we'll try and set you up for an opportunity, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So what makes y'all go out and cache?
Yeah, we want to hear from you, live audience, as to what inspires you in 2023 to get out and go geocaching.
Maybe it's the same thing as before. Maybe you've reached a milestone, or you've changed locations or changed jobs or something new, or you're empty nesters or you're new nesters, or I don't know. Yeah. Life has a way of all changing all the time. And maybe there's something in there that has affected the reasons or the timing or the motivation for you to get out and cache, and we want to hear about it.
We've already got a few suggestions here. Houston, Texas Dave says souvenirs and filling your grid. Good ones.
I used to fill my belly.
I have to ask. Let's stop there for just a moment.
Okay.
Are souvenirs still a motivator for people to get out and cache?
For Houston, Texas Dave, yes.
Yeah. Are they for others? So I'm just curious if you...
I'd like to get... I kind of would hate to miss one when I know that they're available, like the list we went through momentarily ago, knowing, and none of those I think were a surprise, right? When we look at all those that are all kind of the same ones they have every year.
Yeah.
But they will likely have some other things added in. Mm-hmm. There's completing the Escape the Labyrinth thing where there's souvenirs to earn. So I think that goes on for another month or so yet. And so, I think there's opportunities.
So, I just have to say that I think 2021, 2022 broke me of having to get a souvenir, right? Because you had so much extra time. You know what? We're going to extend this for another month or two, or we're going to make this one available all year round. Where it didn't have that same motivating factor of you've got to get it this weekend.
The urgency wasn't there.
There was no urgency, right? So it was like, yeah, souvenirs, they're there. I'll get them when I can.
You know what you could do, Chris, is you could always just make a note of when is the last day any of them are available, and then make it a rush of like, oh my gosh, I forgot, and I had a reminder just pop up in my calendar, and I've got to get this tomorrow, or I don't get the souvenir.
Just pretend you're writing a term paper in college.
Exactly. That's it. That's why caffeine was invented.
Indeed. I see a few folks. IHAM is saying that he tends to try for souvenirs. GSM times 2 says they're not a motivator for him. They're not all encompassing. So,
they're still motivating, but not all.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like, I really wanted to make an effort, and it did, to attend an event on the 2/22/22 deal, because that was really special and unique. I don't necessarily go out for every souvenir, but yeah, they're slightly motivating, I guess.
Komakino had an interesting one on the souvenirs. He said they're not necessarily for him unless it's a new country or state souvenir. Those are always fun to earn. I definitely love adding those to the collection.
And I have to put Seebeck's tribe in there.
Yeah.
Apparently she had a problem with it.
How does she feel about it?
Because it's all in uppercase.
Yeah.
And she says, yes, 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 yes.
It's subtle, but it's a positive feeling there.
I'm really not sure how she's landing on this. So maybe she can be a little more clear. That's funny. I love the enthusiasm.
Yes.
I do too.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I hijacked a topic. Please continue back where you were.
Well, it's all right. I think we're grabbing some stuff out of the chat.
Houston, Texas, Dave. So that's where we started.
Okay.
And fill your grid.
Your grid.
Yes. I still have to fill a couple of grids. So that's what I'm going to try to focus on this year.
Well, hold on a second. Okay. You have to fill a couple of grids. So what do you mean, Chris?
Why do I always forget the names of them when you put me on the spot like this?
Busy Jasmer, those things.
Fun.
Yes, those two.
What if somebody got a GPS for Christmas? They just started geocaching and they have no idea what a grid even is.
So I'll
Series
jump in.
Squares.
In your geocaching profile stats, there's 2 different types of grids available. They look like little spreadsheets that slowly populate with numbers. I say slowly, I guess it depends how fast you geocache. But one is what's called the difficulty terrain grid, or your fizzy grid, as it's affectionately referred to, or your 81 grid, because there are 81 squares with the combination of 9 different levels of difficulty, 9 different levels of terrain, and the combination means 81 different combinations of those. And if you can find one in every box of that grid, that's called filling your fizzy grid, or filling your DT grid, your DT combos.
And I'm 14 away.
14 away. Really? That surprises me. I would have thought you'd be a lot closer.
There's the odd combinations, right? Of one and one terrain, and I'm sorry, one difficulty and 4.5 terrain.
Okay.
So
sounds like you need somebody to take you out in some big adventures there, Chris.
Saddle up your horses. What is beautiful about the stats on geocaching.com, as well as others, right? Project GC, there's a button that says fill your grid, and it's going to go out and find the closest geocaches that meet those requirements you're looking for. Now, I look at this and I'm embarrassed because there is a difficulty 5 terrain 3 that's 2.3 miles from me. I need that. So I'm going to have to go out and find it.
Pitta Pata.
Yes, exactly. Excuse me. I'll be back.
what you doing? I was going to ask what you're doing this weekend, but you've done the show enough by yourself. You can go and find the cache. Jim and I will keep it going. You can trust us with the podcast, Chris.
this weekend, I'm going to the 20th anniversary cash machine event.
Oh, fun.
In Bremerton. But other than that,
we talked about that on a recent episode.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
It was last year, but it seems recent.
So last year.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting so much feedback. I can't keep up. I hope our I hope our chat lackey is staying on top of this.
No? Chat lackey surrendered.
He gave in, eh? Too popular of a topic.
I did pull up.
You did it, everybody. You crushed the chat.
There you
lackey.
go.
Way to go.
I
did the new year.
I did pull these up because you guys don't see these very often. These are what grids look like when they're not filled in. So if you're, a very casual fly-by-night cacher like I am, they have big holes in your grid all over the place. So those are the grids, well, some of them anyway. And they're, got lots of holes in them. So there you go.
Nice.
But with Sam,
holy grid, Batman.
There's a quick button there to help you find the ones you need.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fantastic use of technology. It's not quite AI, but it's getting there.
That's pretty cool.
That's how the robots are going to take over.
Getting you focused on going outside and finding things, and while they're like, "Oh, good, he's gone."
He's gone. Let's go.
Did I say overlords? I meant protectors.
Now it's time for the revolution. Yeah.
Okay. Komakino says he goes out for the fun of caching.
Yay.
And caching with friends. Apparently, some of his friends aren't fun, but some of his friends are. Yeah.
Only his caching friends are fun.
We'll let you figure out who's who.
Keats loves events, and that was something I was going to bring up in a little bit, right? Yeah. If you're kind of waning and going, well, this is, I'm losing a little. Just go to an event. It doesn't have to be a mega event. It doesn't have to be a giga event. Go to one in your local area.
Hey, host a giga event.
There you go. I mean, anybody can do it. It's
easy.
Go to an event in your area, meet up with your local cachers and say, hey, you know what? I need a little help. I need a little energy. Would you go out caching with me? Or you're talking about this cache. I should go do that. Would you like to go do it with me?
Yeah. Yeah. Events are awesome. And again, Jim, you were saying earlier, if somebody just got a GPS for Christmas or someone's new to the game and they're not, it took us a little while before we went to our first event. Not everybody feels comfortable jumping to an event right away, and not everybody understands what they are, but they show up on your map as a little speech bubble. I think usually is what the icon is for an event. And it's just a casual get together. Most of the time it's just what they call a meet and greet, and people either get together either a coffee shop or a picnic shelter or just a location in a park and get together and just chat. And so as Chris was saying, it's a great way to meet other geocachers who you might click with and want to go caching. And it's kind of safe too, because you can kind of talk to them with an easy like, oh, well, yeah, it's been great being here. And I've got a dentist appointment. So thanks. Bye.
At 8:00 at night? Oh, yes.
Yeah, I got to go.
I have an elf dentist. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great way. Wet Coaster says it's a great for new cachers to learn about caching, because you know how we are. All of us geocachers love talking about the game and our experiences. So we'll try and tell you everything we can. Sometimes you have to tell us to shut up.
Or you can be like just Carla and say, I will try to be more social at events.
Awesome. Look forward
Sounds
to
like a wallflower to me.
Yeah, Carlo's no wallflower. He's just busy. Popular guy. All right, what else we got?
I think that's it. Oh wait.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. No.
I lost where I was.
We were talking about events, so we kind of jumped around from our show notes, but that's okay. Yeah. I think we're just kind of flowing with the way things are going in the chat, which is awesome.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I think, Chris, you had talked earlier about is just being outdoors.
Yes.
The Japanese concept of forest bathing, just getting into the greenery and the fresh air, going, as Laura always calls it, it's going for a walk with a purpose. It's, you get outside, you can just not think about work because you're thinking about finding that little box that's hidden somewhere.
Exactly.
And just enjoy the time. And hey, the days are getting a little longer, so it's perfect. Why not?
Every time I go out in the forest, I never come back going, well, that was a waste of time. I always come back going, that was really nice. I need to do this.
Yeah.
And I say this with, going out in the forest and not necessarily geocaching, right? Put the phone away, put the devices away, and just walk in the woods.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just have it.
That Bryling, there you go. That Bryling guy says he's in the midst of planning a geocache road trip and a geocache vacation to the Maritimes, a mega event in July.
Speaking of events, yep.
Planning ahead.
Go ahead.
Planning ahead. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a perfect thing to do this time of year.
If you're kind of burned out on geocaching, go to a different area and use geocaching as a type of
tour guide.
Tour guide, right? To, take you to places you probably wouldn't go. You probably won't see if you look on Yelp in that city. You're not going to see these locations, but they're going to be some of the most beautiful locations.
For sure. Yeah. GSM times 2 has a fun one here. He says some people go geocaching as a reason to make a video. There's a few people in the chat who can relate, like himself and Keats and myself and Carlo and Komakino, and who am I forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody in here, but there's quite a number of folks who like to vlog. And it's fun. There you go. What else have we got?
We
Texas,
have
Dave says you can walk in the woods till you see a bear and then you run in the woods.
Yeah.
Or you stand still in the woods. Either way. GSM times 2 says I geocache because it's fun. I attend events because they're more funner.
Much more funner.
Houston, Texas Dave says maybe do some geo tours.
Love the geo tours.
Mm-hmm.
Have I mentioned that British Columbia is the geo tour capital of Canada now?
I think they just say that.
I think I say it every episode, but
oh yeah,
because it's true.
Is that what you think? Okay.
Well, the math says it's true. How's that?
Okay. Well, Wet Coaster says souvenirs. We're going back to souvenirs. Sorry,
yes.
We're jumping out of order here. Souvenirs are more of an enticement when I was trying to complete a challenge. Nice to get now.
Sure.
Okay. And a challenge like the number of souvenirs kind of challenge, I guess.
There are challenges for numbers of souvenirs. Yeah.
Okay.
UDAC, who I believe is inundated with rain at the moment, says souvenirs still motivate me. That helps me choose what cache to go to for that day.
Interesting. Okay.
Hey, I like Trexer because he says what I just said. Traveling to new places really lights my fire to find caches.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole idea, as you said earlier, geocaching as your tour guide. I mean, it's one of the great things. I mean, okay, so geocaches are going to be hidden all over the place in all kinds of places, but earth caches and virtuals are generally going to take you to somewhere kind of interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So using geocaching as your tour guide and looking for either high favorite point caches or virtuals or earth caches, you're probably going to find some pretty cool places when you go somewhere new.
Let's see. Dora Moore says, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Whitsend.
No, I was continuing that. Earth caches, virtuals are great. And just search for caches with high levels of favorite points.
Yes.
Because those are going to be way more interesting than just a magnetic Altoid standing in the guardrail. Usually. There are exceptions. Go ahead.
There are. Dora Moore says, working on challenges helped motivate me more than usual.
There you go.
I don't think she needs a lot of motivation to cache, but
and she's amazing at solving and finding puzzle caches too. So there you go.
So there you go. Look for her at an event if you're stumped on a puzzle.
Yeah, she won't give you the answer, but she might give you a nudge.
Just a little nudge.
Nice. CRS98 says the WSGA 20 caches, all of them. And that would be 140 of them.
That is a good goal for 2023. Yeah. I think that's awesome. I don't know that I'm going to get all of them, but I definitely I got to start on it in 2022, and then we took a little break for Christmas over on Vancouver Island, and now we're looking forward to starting to head south again and keep on chipping away at them.
That's right. Wet Coaster says, I'm 7 away from my second grid. Greenwords is 10 short of her first grid.
There you go.
Well, come on, Wet Coaster, help her out a little.
I think we need to get together.
There you go.
Just Carlo enjoys camping and caching. Now, there's an aspect we haven't necessarily talked about.
I've done that, yeah.
That's a great combo, yeah. And especially if you've got kids, right? Then that makes it even more fun, because taking kids camping can be a chore.
It can be.
But if your kids, if you can get them going on the search and give them that motivation to go, help find the cache and everything, gives them a little something extra to do, keeps them motivated, and
exactly,
reduces the whining to a certain degree.
And it's a great way to find out if there are any snakes under that log without you having to reach in there.
Oh yeah,
good point. Yeah. That's great parental advice there.
We're back to the grid again. Keith says the grid always gets me. I'm blown away by how rare some DT combos are.
Yeah. Well, and then, you take it up to the next level and you're like, okay, well, now I'm going to fill the grid with this type of cache. So I wanted a full DT of regular size caches, or a full DT of, traditionals and or multis, or, whatever. There's always ways to up the challenge, and it doesn't have to be to achieve a specific challenge cache. It can just be a personal challenge, something you want to try and do. And then it just helps you get that little extra level of motivation.
Well, I agreed with Trexer earlier, not so much now, when he says increasing my daily streak has kept me caching every day and questioning my sanity. Today was 1,468.
That's insane, dude. That is a lot of finds in a row.
That's either admirable or insane, or both.
Yeah, it's admirably insane.
Yeah. But yes, congrats on that. That's really impressive.
That's a huge goal to reach, and that's one of them. A daily streak doesn't appeal to me.
We did a long daily streak, well over a year, and neither of us have any interest in attempting that a second time. That's we're good. Thank you.
Well, we're back to grids with Dora Moore.
Okay.
I got Fizzy times 6 last month. Now I'm just 6 squares away from Fizzy times 7. Fizzy fever kicking in again.
That's funny.
Good old Fizzy fever.
Fizzy fever.
Isn't
that a disco song?
Drinks fizzy lifting drinks.
Don't bump into the ceiling. You have to sterilize it. Let's see, what else have we got in there?
I don't know. We got a question or a comment. Oh, okay. Go to this.
Yeah, sometimes too. Oddly, I have a goal that's keeping me from geocaching, except on certain days. I'm filling my found calendar, my found by found date calendar to 26. If it's not one of those days, I tend not to geocache.
There you go.
Interesting. I was just going to say, Seebeck Tribe threw a little comment in there. Wits End, hoping that you had a great birthday this past weekend.
It is also her birthday.
Or that you have. It's this coming weekend.
Yeah. Same day as hers. It's
awesome.
Been kicked around a few times. Thank you, and to you as well.
Awesome. So GSM times 2 did the math. That's a 4-year streak Trexer has going there.
That's when you think about the number of geocaches in an area, that's impressive.
It is. Yeah. You definitely have to make an effort to get out. And that's what I was finding when we did ours of, over a year long. And, it was starting to get to the point of like, okay, well, I'm going to have to because initially it was like, okay, we'll find them around home. Okay, those get cleaned out.
Mhm.
I get, find them. I had a fairly long commute at that time. So I was all right, find them on the way back home from work. And it's like, okay, now I got to go a little further. Now I got to go a little further. It's like, okay, this is really starting to become a pain in the ass. I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Right. Kind of takes the fun out of it.
That long, it's amazing.
Right.
It reminds me of people that really enjoy a hobby and then try to make a business out of it, earn an income from it. They say it just takes all the fun out of it. So I have to imagine it's similar to that.
I would imagine, yeah.
So Starcasher says, find a challenge geocache somewhat near you that you do not yet qualify for that tickles your fancy. I don't know if my fancy has been tickled. Plan geo trips with the purpose to make some progress on that challenge. That sounds like a certain notebook author of ours.
Huh.
Sounds like Starcasher's been taking notes from the notebook queen.
What if your fancy is fizzy?
Oh, your fizzy fancy?
Maybe.
Komakino says you better see a doctor if you have a tingling sensation when you have a fizzy fever.
Fizzy fever, yeah, for sure. Oh, let's see.
IHAM says there are 2 souvenir challenges right near HQ, GCHQ, one for 50 and one for 100.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I know I qualify for both of those.
I'm pretty sure I would qualify for both.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
In case you didn't know, the WSGA has 7 geo tours all around Washington State to get.
At least for a year. I don't know if they'll renew it next year. So you've got till what, October? When did they launch?
Somewhere like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
All right. So
now, my favorite name to say, my favorite Shatner name, just finding our way. Challenges are my motivation to travel. Travel's my motivation to travel.
Yeah, I love traveling. And then, again, we talked about this earlier about using geocaching as your tour guide when you travel. It's just such a great way to add to the travel experience. Little trickier if your traveling partner's a muggle. So then you got to try and find a little more balance there. But again, that's where the virtuals and earth caches and some of the highly favorited ones can come in.
Muggle does enjoy Adventure Labs.
Yeah. Oh, mixed opinion there. A few years ago, I would have said, yeah, absolutely. Since they handed out credits to everybody in the last year, it's still good to do, but I'm finding there's a lot of noise in the Adventure Lab realm.
The quality has diminished a bit.
Yeah, especially in major cities. So, your mileage may vary.
In case you want to know, CRS owns those 2 challenges up by GCHQ.
Oh, well done.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Look at that. Small world, isn't it?
It is.
Here's a motivator that was really big when I first started caching for a lot of people. Houston, Texas Dave says FTF hunting. Now, not everybody's into that, but some people really want to be that first one.
Yeah. I enjoy it when the stars line up and it's a thing that can work out. I don't go out of my way to try.
Yeah, nor do I, but some people do.
There are people that have FTF streaks going of, one a month for years. So, some people love it.
Yeah. And I think it works out well if you're like the only one of a very few people in your region who do that.
Yeah.
Right.
But the more people who do it, the harder it would become to keep that going.
Yeah. When I first started, there were 2 FTF hounds that, were fighting for, and on occasion I could sneak in and get one.
Then you'd hear from them.
Yeah.
Yes. And they would, even if they went and found it and they saw there was a name on the signature, they would not log it because they didn't FTF it. Like, it's a little extreme. You actually found it.
Yeah.
Don't punish yourself. Just Carlo has a different motivator for going out and geocaching, avenging DNFs. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that one's a mixed bag for me. Some of them I really want to get and I'm ultra motivated to, and others are like, no big deal.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the cache.
Breiling recently completed a 360 challenge. Well, not recently. He did it last summer.
That's
so
another
a 360-degree challenge is finding a geocache in each arc of a 360-degree circle around you. So each 1 degree increment to find a geocache within that. And, the farther out you go, the wider that arc gets and gives you, interesting opportunities, unless you live on the water. Then it's a little more challenging.
Yeah, that's another one that you'd need to look at Project GC. The geocaching.com statistics page won't show you that information.
Right.
So you need to use Project GC for that.
Holy cow. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Doramore says the challenge is a lot easier when you live inland. On the coast, not so much.
Also true. Although there's ways, especially if you've got a lot of the like the San Juan or the Gulf Islands that you can get to. But it's not cheap or easy to get over there.
Right. Wet Coaster says a friend of mine in Ontario is on a 4,589 day streak.
That's
what? I would just call that life at this point.
Yeah.
It's not a streak. It's just what I do every day.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a habit.
Is that like 12 and a half years or something?
It's an addiction at that point. Yeah.
Holy cow. Okay. So that's a tough one to maintain, right? How far is he driving each day?
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding. I'm going to make a wild guess that person would be retired to be able to do that.
Oh, okay. The longest streaks are 5,988 and 5,787. Both started on 3/2/2007.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
I don't argue that, but how can they have different numbers if they both started on the same day and it's a streak?
Good point. I don't understand that either.
Maybe it was the year 207.
Oh, yes. That's
the
probably
first century.
what you need to get numbers that high.
Leap years? I don't know.
And caches then were actually, carcasses and
Yeah.
spears and things like that.
Too funny.
Oh.
All right. What else we got?
Here's, in case you need to know, the Project GC tools for it's project-gc.com/tools/360home.
Okay.
And it will help you do your 360 challenge.
Nice.
He only needs 3 more finds to have a double 360.
Wow.
Now he's starting to get into snowboarding events.
Yeah.
Let's do a 720.
Yeah. 540, 720s. Yeah. So we talked about challenges, personal or challenge caches, talked about geo tours.
I can quit anytime I want.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We talked about events, social aspect of the game. Another type of event is CETO. Now that can net you a souvenir. It's also just a good thing to do and go out and get back to the game. January 1st, we went to a CETO event. Just Joey hosted on Vancouver Island in the Souk area. No, not Souk, Saanich area of just outside of Victoria.
If you say so.
I think it was Elk Lake area. Anyways, it was a new park to us. We hadn't been there before and got to hang out with a lot of fun geocachers. Saw Kate West there and a few other folks. So lots of fun.
Well, I do really appreciate going to CETOs and picking up trash because at the end of it, you feel better. Like I really did something. I helped.
Yeah.
Not just in geocaching, but in the world. Right. So it reaches beyond the, geocaching boundaries into I'm helping my community. I'm helping, my country. I'm helping the world to be a little bit cleaner than it was before I came out today. So that's a whole great area to get into. and maybe change your motivation for geocaching.
Absolutely. And I don't know if we're quite ready to wrap up, but certainly Trexer has a great potential closing thought here. And I definitely echo what he's typed into the chat, which is that it's always great to hear the different aspects of the game that excite or motivate some, make others groan.
Yeah.
Yet it's all the same game. So there's so many different facets to the game. There's so many different ways to get motivated, enjoy the game, and just get outside.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and you know what? We didn't even talk about trackables.
Oh, yeah.
Coins.
A whole nother,
right?
yeah. The whole other
nother
games within the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Lots of fun.
there are lots of ways to get involved.
I was just going to say our trackable inventory was down to I think we had it down to 2, maybe 3 trackables in our inventory, which is unique for us because Mrs. Monkey and I have a bit of an addiction to moving trackables. We love picking up trackables and moving them. It's just, I don't know. We just really enjoy that part of the game. But after our holidays over on Vancouver Island, our trackable inventory is back up to a dozen. So get them all distributed again.
I can't do just 2. Let's assume you did 200.
There you go.
UDEX says losing trackables is not motivating.
No.
So Houston, Texas Dave brings up a good one. Puzzle caches are fun to solve, right? It's kind of dark and rainy right now. And, especially those in Northern California, it's darker and rainier than, they've experienced in quite some time. And it's a good time to sit in if you still have electricity and sit at your computer and try to solve some puzzles.
Nice. Yep. Good idea.
I do enjoy knowing I've solved the puzzle, going out and finding the cache. I don't care if it's a micro under a lamp skirt. I solved the puzzle.
Yeah. The motivation there is definitely solving the puzzle usually more than the find. Sometimes puzzle finals will be at really great locations. Not always.
Right. And I have to tell you, my puzzle caches are found, I don't know, 100 times less than my traditionals.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not as many people do them. Same with my earth caches. They don't get found nearly as much as traditionals that we hide, but it's all right. Again, different things. Yeah, it's GSM times 2. Puzzle cache is one of those aspects that either motivate or induce a groan.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it depends on the puzzle, right? Around here, we have some visual puzzles. That you have to
jigsaw
look at
style ones, or
no, they're from Sir Carp, and I can't remember the other guy. We were just talking about him.
Yeah, very complicated images with lots of details
and some of these you have to print out and fold just right, like the old Mad magazine.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that dates me right there. I used to read a magazine, folks. It didn't matter what magazine. I used to read magazines.
Me worry.
I was in the grocery store last night and I saw Mad magazine on the rack. I didn't know they were still making it.
Still there, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Surprised me. I didn't pick it up, but I was like, oh, wow, that takes me back to my teen years.
Well, and speaking of magazines, UDEX says, I enjoy the puzzles I can solve, even the ones on the FTF Geocacher magazine that are not tied to a cache. UDEX, thank you. I like you tonight. You saved me. I don't sound old anymore. Well, I do. Thanks, Keats. Magazines?
Yeah, Keats, they're podcasts you read.
Yeah.
You're very convenient when you don't have power.
Yeah.
They're flexible, glossy Kindles.
More flexible than a Kindle usually is supposed to be.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Kindles are flexible.
Once.
To a degree.
Yes, I only like you tonight.
Aww.
No, anytime. Well, I think we've covered some topics. And you know what? We didn't go into depth on a lot of things. There's a lot of different reasons to go out and geocache. And if you're starting to lose that energy, lose that desire, change your focus a little bit, right? Look at a different aspect of the game. This game, and you know what? Maybe hiding a geocache is what you need to do to spark your interest. Go and make one of those gadget caches that you see on YouTube. You know what? Give it a shot.
There you go. Great advice. And
That's all I have.
Mostly just get outside, have fun, be safe. Cache safely, cache often.
It's the often that we're trying to encourage this week. You know what? Maybe go out to dangerous places. Cache dangerously. But not as often.
Generally won't cache as often.
Yeah. No, well, anyway, folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did.
Absolutely. And I want to take a moment to thank both Land Sharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. LandSharkz.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. And remember, they ship those online orders daily. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures and 2 geo tours, check out exploregoldcountry.com. And folks, we want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Land Sharks, Gold Country Geotourism, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cachly, the geocaching app. If you'd like to know more about supporting the show, well, head on over and click that Patreon link on the CachingNW.com, a website.
That's right. Maybe you need to click it harder.
Maybe.
Like Flagman.
And geocaches.
And Peach of Washington.
Camp Clan.
Gas Station Tuna.
Kid Vegas 19.
Almost did that one. Segehove.
Are Not Family.
GSM ×2.
Korsgat.
Keats 94.
Kettlebarb.
How about MC3 Cats?
How about Fairwood West?
Nerve.
Greenwords.
Sprouter.
You Talks to Rocks.
Team Noltex.
Antaeus.
Lugwork.
Kitty Quest.
Subway Mark.
A new one. Whidbey Island Gal. Hey, we found some of your caches, Whidbey Island Gal. And I love your island.
How about just finding our way?
Kev MacD.
Hey, somebody else I saw over the Christmas holidays. Boomer 365.
And sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. Trexer. Sometimes it happens in the same show.
Could be. But
No.
we always like you, Dak.
Hey, I just keep getting people I met over the holidays. It's also Donners.
Ari. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
LG 9000.
Dora Moore.
How about Tick Magnet?
B Pendragon.
Wet Coaster.
Jagar.
Hacker Duck.
Skyhawker.
Genius.
Geo Nav Pro.
Al Robrick.
Very active in the chat and very enthusiastic. Seabeck Tribe.
How about Limax?
And last but certainly not least, CRS 98.
Folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helped keep the caching quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Subscribe and give us a review. Now, if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. You can call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or help us with our geocaching energy any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@CachingNW.com. Join us every Thursday night. You know, that's tonight, but we'll do another one next week at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umpenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2023 by Chris Umpenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
That never gets old.
Look at Trexer.
Aw.
Aw.
Trexer loves me too.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
And sometimes he doesn't.
And sometimes not.
You know,
In the same show.
Ebbs and flows, ebbs and wanes, and no, ebbs and
flows.
Ebbs and flows. That's it.
Waxes
Wanes
and
waxes.
Wanes and wax. There. Thank you. I was mixing my own metaphors. Metaphors. Okay?
Metaphors.
I got a new blender. I'm mixing everything.
Mixing up your metaphors there,
Yeah.
Chris.
And my medicines.
Chris, I have to say, I am really impressed at how well you can rattle off free, fabulous, fast, fantastic 5-star review. I can't even do it. You're getting really good at that. It was very slick.
Well, alliteration is one of my superpowers.
One of
Is
your
it?
many superpowers.
Alliteration almost always annoys, absolutely, or something like that.
Hey,
What
okay.
else you got?
Well, we got some podcast baking that somehow I missed early on. Podcast baking cranberry banana bread. Either I'm 2 weeks late or 50 weeks early for Christmas. Well, pop that in the freezer and you'll be ready for Christmas in 50 weeks.
I was going to say, either way, just bring it to the next event.
That's true. And
That's
you know
awesome.
what? I see people already have their Christmas lights up. So they're just that early
They're
as
really
well.
early, yeah.
Too funny. Kitty Quest is asking people to keep their hands off her toque. but if you see her, make sure you check out that toque. It's a pretty cool one.
She seems a little defensive there.
Well, I think it's because I suggested it could be taken apart to knit socks. I think that's what prompted that.
I know, but she seems a little defensive. That's all I'm saying. Brylang.
Yes.
Here we go, talking about Brylang again. Brylang hit 20,000 finds milestone on December 31st, 2022.
That was so
And we
last
expect
year.
another 20,000 by December 31st, 2023.
Hey, where's the applause button? Don't you have an applause button? That deserves.
And
that deserves
confetti.
look at that!
I'll throw
Congratulations.
fireworks up for him.
We love hearing about your milestones, everybody. Always, please feel free to send those in.
I should have led with this. 20,000 milestone. Woohoo!
Yay! Woot.
We'll edit that, make it sound better.
Okay.
What
What else you got?
IHAM ran into a family of newer cachers at a park on Saturday while one of the CCEs was going on. But insurance covered all the damages, so he's okay. Wait, that's not how it says. Told them to head over to the picnic shelter and meet up with some other cachers. Nice.
Very nice.
What a good
Ambassador?
ambassador.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well done.
Okay, so Monkey Cake says, knowledgeable question at school this afternoon asked, by what active sounding name are large boulders left behind by glaciers known?
Where's your drum roll?
I wish we knew this
Come on,
one.
everybody. Everybody in the chat, you know the answer to this.
90% of the Earth caches are?
Waterfall.
Oh,
Mosquitoes.
Yeah. Glacial
Scuba.
radix. There we go. They're all coming into the answers now in the chat. Awesome, you guys. Glacial radix. There you go.
90% of the Earth cachers are erratic.
But none of the students knew the answer.
Well, then it's a good trivia question.
Clearly, they're not Earth cachers.
No. How disappointing.
We need more sound effects in 2023.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got one more.
What you got?
That's all I got.
Mine are not quite the same. I've got this one. I'm not sure what we'll use that for.
Start me up.
There you go. Okay.
So many erratics.
Indeed.
And none of the students knew the answer.
All right. And,
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, folks, thank you so much. Congratulations again, Brylang, for 20,000 finds.
Indeed.
And folks, and until next week, Get out and go find your 20,000th find while caching in the Northwest.